Peace, 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 peace. Check, check, 1, 2. Peace, world. What is going on? Welcome to another Substantial Weekly. My name is Substantial, and always, per usual, I'm happy to see everybody up in here. Peace to everyone in the chat. What's going on? Warpath, good to see you up in here. Frank, Goida, peace. Good to see you up in here again, fam. And then Frankie, what's going on? Good to see you. Also, Uncrowned Otaku, good to see you as well. Shout out to Nice Afro, Tommy Hackett in the chat as well, man. For those of you, if it's your first time tuning in, be sure to say peace. Let me know where you're tuning in from, per usual. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, all that good stuff, etc., etc., etc. All right. Shout out to those of you watching on Facebook as well. All right. Peace to you, Facebook user, person who has no name. But yeah, man, good to see everybody. A few things to get into today. Definitely excited, man, to update y'all on some of the goings ons and all that good stuff. But again, man, make sure you like this video, share if you haven't already. And all that good stuff, man. First and foremost, man, I just wanted to, hold up real quick. What's going on, sis? Good to see Steph up in here. Good to see you per usual. All right. Yeah, man, good to see everybody. A few things going on. Today's show shouldn't be as long. We'll see how the Q&A goes. That's usually the larger portion of the show. But just a few things to update y'all with, man, that I'm excited to be sharing some news about. Minor stuff, nothing huge or whatever, no new releases to talk about that dropped today. But, of course, there's stuff coming down the pipeline. First and foremost, shout out to the homie T.Lucas. Coming through the studio today. He is going to be recording his verse, which is Flames. His verse for Adultish. Man, he dropped the verse today. I mean, he dropped the verse about a week ago. He sent it to me when I was at the movies checking out Nope. He dropped a killer verse for this song that's on the album. And yeah, man, it's crazy. It's so dope that like I literally got to I'm probably gonna write my verse again because yeah, he just bodies me on that joint. And you know what I mean? I could give you a whole bunch of excuses as to why I got bodied. And yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just go ahead and tweak this verse. Because the truth of the matter is, man, when I wrote the joint the first time, I wasn't fully sure. Good to see you too, sis. I wasn't fully sure what the song was going to be about. And then I started to get a clearer idea of what I wanted that song to be about. And yeah, man, I started to write a little something. I had a few bars. And then there was a song I started writing at some point in time, but I didn't have any place for it. And it seemed to fit the direction I was headed. So I pulled some of those bars in. But then as I started to write it, I started kind of going another way with it, and I shared it with a few folks, and I ain't really get the response that I was looking for from them. And these are people who know my stuff well. So I was like, okay, probably ain't there yet. So then I rewrote it, took out certain key parts, kind of honed in on the topic a little more, et cetera, right? And then after that, it started really kind of getting closer to where I needed it to be. All right, peace. What's going on, Early? Good to see you, homie. Word. Hey, peace. Twitch is in the building. What's going on? Bang. What's going on, Bang Zero? Good to see you in here. All right, thanks for joining us. Yeah, man. Yo, and it's funny. So Pete. I send once I got happy with the verse, I send it over to T.Lucas and stuff with the chorus and all of that. Still I felt good about it, but I still felt like there was room for improvement, right? But I was definitely feeling the overall vibe of it. So do all of that, and then I send it to him. A week goes by, he sends it back. Hey, family. I was so excited by hearing, like, his verse is so dope. And I feel like he encompasses what the song is really supposed to be about so much more than I do. Where I feel like mine kind of toes the line of like he really raps from the perspective like, son, if you know what I'm talking about, great. If you don't, who cares? Right? Where mine kind of toes the line of being more inclusive, like for those who don't know, just some general feelings. And then there's certain things that are very specific to me and very specific to the place we're talking about or the time we're talking about. But not the way he does it, fam. Like, not, yo, T.Lucas, man. T.Lucas. Clap it up for T.Lucas first and foremost. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my God, this verse is so crazy. So yo, I just was like, I knew from the first time I played it, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do this verse again, which would be the third time I've written this verse, fam. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Cause yo, that's the whole reason why you put your friends like who are amazing on tracks with you, right? To really just highlight how dope they are. As much as people love to sing my praises and talk about the type of MC I am and what my music has done for them, the fact of the matter is, you take somebody like T.Lucas out the equation, I can't tell you that I'm gonna be the same rapper that those of you here and those of you who might watch this later, I can't tell you that I'd be the same artist. You know what I mean? Because dudes like him, dudes like Godzilla, basically a long list of my friends that I've been trying to encourage y'all to listen to for years. People like Early, you know what I mean? Who, like, when I was writing in college and stuff, man, and we go to these spoken word joints, and Early would participate in these poetry joints with us, man. Like, you know, Early's writing and like the pictures he's painting and stuff like that, man, it helped make me a better artist. Steph and what she brought the tracks helped make me a better artist. Kokai, I can keep going, fam. There's a whole reason why I have a playlist on my channel called My Friends Are Dope. There's a reason why I have a playlist on Spotify called My Friends Are Dope, because they're just that, yo. And yeah, man, I just want to scream, you know, sing their praises from the rooftop, man, and just really let y'all know. Sirius Black, I appreciate the love. Thank you. I'm glad you're feeling the hat. All right. Joshua McGee, peace. Hey, man, congratulations, man. You know what I mean? Congratulations from one brother to another, man. For those of you who are part of the brotherhood of fatherhood, just know that what Joshua has accomplished is no easy feat. And so salute to you, King, man. I'm happy for you, man. All right. Hey, you know, Early I tried, man. Try to keep the production game up on the show. You know how it go. All right. Soul Tiger, peace. Welcome. All right. Let's see, man. All right. Let's see. I'm was wondering what's the next upcoming rappers in the U.S. are to you, so I can show my friends over here in a few years. I could tell them, see, just saying. All right. So Freaky Joe just put this question up in here. Well, I'll address this before we jump into some other stuff. So next upcoming rappers, man. That's a great question, man. I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. I feel like she's not from the U.S. and she's been doing her thing for a while, but I feel like a year from now, she is about to be a lot bigger than she currently is. And she's definitely been on the come up for a minute. And that's Sampa the Great. So again, she's not from the US. She's actually based in Australia. Originally from, I can't remember if it's Zambia or another country in Africa. But the reason why I say that I feel like she's about to really pop off is because, yo, she just got tapped by Billie Eilish to go on tour. Right now, I don't really care if you're a fan of Billie Eilish or not, right? I dig some of her stuff. I ain't even gonna pretend like I don't. But the reason why that's significant is because Sampa is an amazing artist, fam, like who can do a lot of different things. And she has a really dope band and a really great live show. And I think she's gonna benefit tremendously from going on tour with Billie Eilish and having that many eyes on her, especially these young fans and stuff who get wind of her real early. So I would just say, for those of you, I mean, if you've been watching the channel and we've talked about hip hop artists for a while, I've been a fan for Sampa for quite some time, and she's not a new artist by any means, but I would definitely say that if you weren't hip before, I feel like she has the potential to be this generation's Lauryn Hill. She's not necessarily like the type of singer that Lauryn is per se, but she can make songs that hit you in the same way. And she can do a lot. Like, she can rap, she sings a little bit, she'll infuse like Afrobeat, which of course right now is globally popping everywhere. So, you know, but then like, yo, she can give you like something that almost feels like a ballad sometimes. Well, not quite a ballad, but like a little R&B-ish, but still will give you the bars. Like, she will give you the work, fam. And I feel like, man, she potentially is this generation's Lauryn Hill. That's because she's very much from that. I feel like she's cut from that cloth. You know what I mean? And she said it in her interview. So I would say, man, if you've been sleeping on Sampa, she has enough music out there that you can really dive into. But I think she's about to have a really big moment, man, with her going on tour with Billie Eilish. So yeah, man, that's one I would say to watch. If you're like already following a lot of underground artists and you are familiar with dope women in hip hop, you probably already hip to her. Like I said, she's not a new artist by any means, but in terms of mainstream, she has not gone mainstream yet, and I think she is one to watch. I gotta put some thought into some other artists. I gotta take a look at some of the other folks I've been listening to. But who I've been listening to recently, and he's not necessarily super new either, but he's a producer. So I know this ain't necessarily a rapper, but I'm a fan of Cartoons. Cartoons is real dope as well. But yeah, I hope that has answered your question. And yeah, man, hey, look, make no bones about it, man. I am a Sampa stan. Pun intended. You know what I mean? Like, I love what she's doing, yo. And I think she doesn't get enough props yet, but I feel like they're on their way. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, and I got to make sure I catch her the next time she comes to town. 'Cause I was planning to catch her right before the pandemic popped off, and then things fell through, and that didn't work out. But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, there was something else I wanted to share with y'all, but give me 1 second, trying to find something on my end. I would love to talk about Beyonce's album, but I am probably one of the many people in the minority that have not heard it yet. I haven't heard it. So, but hey, something else we can talk about though. We could talk about Kelis and her issue with Beyonce, because I had a lot to say to my class, because I teach music business, or the business of art and music with young people, with like middle schoolers and high schoolers and some young adults as well. And so we had a interesting conversation about that. And it's funny, I talked mostly with the staff, just kind of really addressing some of their issues and concerns with that, and just really kind of letting them know my thoughts, you know. So but yeah, thank you. Never heard about her over here in Germany. Oh man, I am excited for you, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, depending on what type of rap music you like or what type of hip hop you like, she may or may not be your cup of tea, but I feel like, man, she is so versatile that if you listen to her catalog and really dive into her catalog, start from the beginning and work your way up, like, I really feel like there's something for everybody there. If you're a person who likes lyrical stuff, she got that. If you like stuff that's just kind of vibey, she got that. If you like the dance, she got that. You like introspective hip hop, she also has that. Like, yo, she is probably one of the more well-rounded artists that you would find, especially considering that most people don't talk about her like that. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, let's see. It's all good. I gotta peep it. I kind of feel like that. I know a lot of people don't agree, but yeah. Yeah, she got, man, and that Nas alimony's good. It's a lot more money than I think people realize Nas had. You know what I mean? I remember when that info first came out, it was insane. All right, but trying to remember. Oh yeah, I remember what it was. But all right, so just addressing the Kelis thing, I'm gonna talk about that real quick before we keep it moving. I think that what she's talking about in terms of, you know, respect and people having the courtesy, people who know you having the courtesy to just hit you up and say, hey, I plan on using something that has your voice on it. I just want to make sure that's cool. Even if they don't legally, or they're not legally required to do that, is that the nice thing to do? Sure. But that also is contingent on what type of relationship you have too. Like if y'all know each other and y'all a fam like that, then yeah, that would be nice, right? Do you have to do it legally? No, because she is not the copyright owner. So therefore, hitting her up at all is just a courtesy. That is it. It's a nice thing to do, right? Would I have done that if I know her personally and we're cool like that? Of course. But if they've kind of hung a few times and they only hung because of the people they were with, but they weren't tight, or maybe they don't get along, maybe reaching out to her is the last thing on your mind, simply because of the fact that, fam, I never really knew you. I still don't know you. I know of you. We met each other. We shook hands. We hung out once or twice, but we haven't hung out or spoke maybe in years, right? So is it necessary for me to do? No. Will it come off a bit dickish if I don't do that? Of course, right? But do I have to? No. And so, yeah, I see both sides of it, but I'm leaning more toward, like, you know, the folks who are very much like, yeah, but she ain't got to, especially with how she's talking on social media. Like, I really feel like that's a phone call you make first, right? Like you don't just get on social media and do that, right? Like there's conversations to be had privately before addressing it. But because it was already out in the public, she felt that she needed to address the public first before addressing Beyonce and her team. I wouldn't have done it that way, but I understand, you know what I mean? And so I'll leave it at that. But this is where me and Steph are on the same page, maybe, in terms of her shooting herself in the foot. Fam, the way you went about it, you got the sample taken away completely. Now, even if you don't own the copyright of the song, you still are the, like maybe you still own the publishing and you're the recipient of that publishing, right? And so now you're potentially, like now with them removing the sample from the song, any money you would have gotten from that, now you're not getting any. And I'm always thinking legacy, right? In terms of how the things I do is going to affect, how those things affect my children, right? For better or for worse. How can my children benefit from that long term? And yo, you got kids and you might feel like, hey man, I'm getting this Nas money. I don't necessarily need Beyonce money, right? Especially considering how they went about using the sample, which again, they were within their rights to do. I probably wouldn't have handled it that way because it allows my ego to get in the way of something that is going to help me provide for my children long after I'm gone. So that's all I'm saying. I know a lot of people put a whole lot of sauce on it. They hype it up and they say all of these different things. I'm talking strictly from a business standpoint, strictly from a professional standpoint. That's all that really matters to me in that situation. Again, because I'm removed from that situation. I'm not either one of these artists. So it's easy for me to put the personal stuff aside and just be like, hey man, better business would have been to handle it this way. Just saying. But I get it because I definitely felt the urge to go to social media and air out things and stuff. But I just choose not to do that most times. And even if I do say some things on social media, just know that 9 times out of 10, I've probably spoken to whoever I have the issue with ahead of time. And I'm only coming to y'all or whoever else because I'm seeking another way to resolve an issue that clearly isn't moving toward a resolution. So that is more like 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? More so than 2 cents. Nice to get a recordings artist's perspective on that mess. Let's see. It's about what I thought of it too. The drama, private first. Yeah, man. Like, it's one thing that it happens, you know, and it kind of did happen publicly, right? Because she wasn't aware until the stuff actually came out. So one could argue she addressed it publicly because she found out in a public setting. Someone tagged her, and that's how she found out. So, you know, just as somebody who was taught conflict resolution or conflict transformation, and somebody who also has done mediating, has been the mediator or whatever between like students and staff, students, staff, and police officers, staff and staff. Like, you know, I've done this professionally for a long time. And so there's definitely better ways to go about handling this stuff. And I feel like, you know, a lot of times people just make poor choices. But then I also understand that I'm someone who was given or worked toward having certain tools to address my issues like that. And your average person they're not equipped with those tools to resolve their issues the same way. So it becomes a situation where it's like, is that a fair expectation, right? Like, if someone hasn't been given that skill set, you know what I mean? Or work toward having that skill set. So again, my thoughts, you know what I mean? Whether you agree or not, it's all good. I ain't tripping either way. Ain't like I'm missing any money. You know what I'm saying? Ain't like I'm getting any of that money or missing it. Just my thoughts on it. All right. So I'm about to bring something up on the screen in a second. I thought that I already had it preloaded and then realized that I didn't. So if you keep seeing me look on the side, that is what that's about. So that will be ready momentarily. But in the meantime, in between time, if you got questions, feel free to throw them my way. I'll try to answer those before #StayInWisdom. I'll try to answer those before I get into the Otakon recap, and then also what's it called? Also talking about a few other things. But I do have something I want to share with you guys right about now. So I mentioned it before, but I'm gonna put it in here again at the top of the show. So today is the last day for the summer sale. For those of you in terms of if you've been thinking about buying merch, now is your time to benefit. This is the last day of the summer sale. Not sure when we're going to be doing another. It might not be until like late fall. Can't make you no promises, but the link is right there for y'all. Use code summer25. Definitely check that out when you get an opportunity, because it's 25% off, and that might not seem like a ridiculous amount of money to some of y'all, but trust when I tell you that it's not bad. It's not a bad deal. And so that's basically con prices, because at the cons, if you've ever seen me at the con, something like the USB drive, which is $65, now becomes closer to 50, right? It's like closer to 50, even though you still got to pay shipping and things like that. So you might want to consider taking advantage of that, so that way you can benefit, you know what I'm saying? A little come up. So definitely do that if you haven't already. And then I have a surprise for you. Some of you might have noticed the thumbnail for today's video and something on the thumbnail. So I'm gonna show you that in a second. But yeah, man, got something special that dropped today. Shout out to Warpath. I've definitely been sending a few things your way, and I appreciate you for supporting. Let's see. All right. So Warpath just sent in a question. So Stan, you told your mom, when you first told your mom you wanted to seriously get into hip hop, what was her reaction? Did she show support? Or kind of what do you, or want you to do something else? That's a great question. So thank you for that question. So basically, I'll pull away the graphic for a second. So basically, my mom in the beginning, how she first found out I started rapping, I was like 10 years old when I first started writing raps. And at this time, gangster rap was extremely popular. Yeah, man, it was also not necessarily, it wasn't, it wasn't something that like people might have wanted their 10-year-old kid listening to. But because it was the most popular style of rap, it was real common for anyone who start rapping to imitate the style of rap that is most popular, right? Now, this is 89. So by 89 and 90 is when I was writing my first raps. And I know that might feel like a lifetime ago or before your lifetime, depending on how old you are, but that's my story. And basically, I would link up with my man Tony. Shout out to my man Tony Black. He was super dope freestyler. We would go to his place and I would, what would I do? When we put on like instrumentals, we freestyle over those. Yeah, man, just try our best to get our bars up and have a good time and all of that. It was mostly him freestyling with me beatboxing. And then basically, fast forward a couple weeks after like hanging with him and hearing him rapping the stuff he was rapping about, because where we lived was the quote unquote hood. We was in the streets, son. You know what I'm saying? If you're from Maryland, if you're from PG specifically, I used to live off of Sheriff Road in a little apartment complex called Eaton Square, which was right next to this wooded area. And when you walk through those woods, on the other side of that was a neighborhood called Palmer Park. Now, Palmer Park, there's a lot of great people who are from Palmer Park. People like, Sugar Ray Leonard. He had he had a gym in Palmer Park. And then people like Martin Lawrence, et cetera, right? From PG. And so, yeah, man, like, it was real. So that's the type of stuff that my man, when gangster rap came out, he realized that even though he was young, he was a couple years older than me, maybe 2 or 3 years older than me. He could rap about the things he was seeing and sometimes was pretending like he was certain people who were doing certain things in our neighborhood. So I basically was imitating him because he was older than me. He was somebody I looked up to. So, was I seeing certain things? Sure. But largely, when you first start rapping, you just imitate the rappers you like. And that's what I was doing. So I wrote some wild stuff, some real wild, disrespectful stuff, a lot of cursing in it, et cetera, et cetera. My mom finds my rhymes when she's washing clothes. Yeah, it was a bad look. It was a bad look. She finds it. She's very unhappy with what she saw. She asked me about it. And yeah, man, when she asked me about it, I said something, I got smart with her, and she slapped me in my face. You know what I'm saying? So, it was wild. Like, it was real wild. I was just like, man, this is, I want to rap, but I don't like this energy I'm getting from my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she definitely put hands on me when I saw talking outside of my neck and was getting disrespectful with her. And so I'm sure that didn't help how she felt about the idea of me rapping. So fast forward, right? Hey, PZO, what's going on? So to get back to the question, she didn't love the idea at first. As I got older, what I talked about changed a bit. And let's fast forward to like college, right? So by the time I get to college, I get the situation where I get a chance to go to Japan. Y'all all know the Nujabes story, so I ain't gonna tell it again. But basically, long story short, what ends up happening is when I came back, I had a choice to make, right? Like there was a situation dealing with a credit card being opened in my name. I ain't gonna throw nobody under the bus right now, but it was some stuff that was happening. And it put me in a situation where financially I couldn't afford to go back to school even if I wanted to. And what I said to my mom was this. I was like, look, everything that I've been successful at so far, there's been a period of time where I've dedicated my life solely to doing that, right? Now, granted, at this time, I'm only 21. I think I'm like 20 or 21. Yeah, 21, because it was after I came back from Japan. So that's what I said to her. I was like, I think that I can do something with this music. You know what I mean? I mean, I've just gotten flown out of the country for the first time, right, to do my thing. And yeah, I believe that I can do something serious with this. And you know, I just told her like that straight up, you know, and I also said to her, and I was like, yo, my school is real expensive, man. It's $30,000 a year to go here, right? I mean, the fact that I even got into the school is a big deal, right? And people know, like, I'll forever have that name recognition. No one will ever be able to take that from me, whether I drop out or not. The fact is, I was nice enough. I had the grades, I had the test scores, and I had the skill to get accepted into a school that is currently number 7 in the world for art and design, right? So regardless, fam, you know what I mean? Nobody can tell me nothing about visual art, fam. Like I know what I'm capable of, and I've proven it over the years. But I haven't done this yet with my music. And yo, she respected it. And she was supportive, man, and you know, and still is to this day. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so yeah, man. So shout out my mom. I appreciate that question. You know what I mean? No one's ever asked me that before, but thank you, man. Hey, man, you might got a future in journalism, Warpath. You stay asking the great questions. You know what I'm saying? Definitely be the MVP up in the chat a lot of days. So shout out to you. Hey, man, thank you. And maybe if it doesn't get made into a movie, it'd be a solid book. We'll see what happens. Soul Tiger asks, I believe there was a song off Winter Breaks that referenced that question. I think it was Longer for Nia. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Longer for Nia deals with a lot of that for sure. Good catch. All right. So let me add something in real quick because I saved the file and we're going to get back on task. All right. Give me 1 second. Trying to make sure this is there. Boom, boom, boom. All right. While that loads up, let me make sure I put this reminder once again to anybody tuning in late. For those of you lurkers who don't feel like jumping in the conversation but are watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. You know what I'm saying? No pressure. Maybe a little bit. Just a little. All right. Yeah, for sure. So let's see. All right. So I'm going to jump into a quick reminder real fast. For anybody who doesn't know, I have a podcast called ARTdustry. And if you've never listened, I highly recommend it, man. I think you would enjoy it, especially if you're a person who's creative or has a lot of respect for other creatives. It's definitely something worth checking out with great questions and great interviews and all of that. Recently, we had hold on. Let me put that in. Check it out here. All right. But here is the link to the podcast for anyone who's never heard it. And recently, we had the awesome pleasure of interviewing the homie Mega Ran. Definitely, man, check out that latest episode. You can listen to the podcast. You can watch it. We recorded live. If you ever watch it and we're talking about something and you think of a question that is relevant to the conversation we're having, you can join in that way, and we'll definitely ask our guests. But shout out to Mega Ran, man. It was a great interview. I highly recommend it to everybody. And check out some of the other guests that we've had this season. The common thread from about 90+% of the interviews that we do is we have personal relationships of some sort, or have some type of connection to most of these people that we interviewed, other than us just kind of hitting people up blindly. We all know them and have great rapport with these people a lot of times. So it makes our interviews a little bit different. There are some questions they might get that they've had a bunch of times, and then there are other things because of how we know them that we get to dive in. And what was cool about this last interview is with Mega Ran, we had a moment where he got to share some things that he's never talked about in an interview before. And so that was really cool. So definitely check that out. Shout out to Mega Ran. It was really cool, man. It was really cool. But shout out to him. I think y'all would enjoy it. So be sure to subscribe to ARTdustry. And if you aren't subscribed to Substantial Art and Music's YouTube channel, be sure to do that as well. All right. So next up. I'm jumping ahead. There was something that I was supposed to share with y'all that I didn't. Slacking. Let's put it on the screen. Boom, 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 boom. Nope. Boom, 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 boom. Share screen. Yep. Let's go to tab. All right. So for those who don't know, let's put that up there. So if you didn't know already, there is new merch on our store. All right. So yeah, man, as you can see right there, there's the Subskate tee. Some of y'all who've been following me for a long time, y'all may remember that a fan of mine named Quentin Ross, he made a design, and I'll find the joint that's a little more blown up on a different page, but he made an illustration, some fan art of me that was really, really dope, man. And this is it right here. So this was recently added, so you can get this as a sticker. So if you're fans of Naruto and you know about Sasuke, there was somebody who posted a meme of Sasuke actually blowing flames, just like in this picture here. And somebody posted and was like substantial in the studio working on his new album. And then they posted Sasuke spitting fire, right? And I thought that was so dope. And what was even doper was when Quentin Ross came about and he saw that and he made an illustration of me as Sasuke, who everyone ended up calling it Subskate. And it was pretty cool. And so when he did that, I basically asked him if he could develop that further and make it into a full-blown piece. And he did just that. And we ended up with this amazing design. So shout out to him, man, for doing a really dope job on this. I hope y'all dig it. But those stickers are now available on the website. They just got added along with the t-shirt. And then of course there are other things on the site that you can check out at your leisure. No pressure, of course, but the support is always appreciated. But yeah, man, just to walk through the store real quick. You got everything from stickers, t-shirts, right? Of course, the USB cassettes are still there. Katie Fox and my album are up there, as well as the Bop Alloy album on vinyl. More t-shirts. Got the collabs tee, the different songs I did with Jen. Got hats. Yep, got 5 panel caps now as well. More stickers, hoodies, all that good stuff, because you know hoodie season is down the road. My book is still available. Hopefully, man, I'll have some news about the book in a little bit too, but we'll come back to that another time. But yeah, just wanted to give y'all heads up. All right, Warpath says that's pretty cool. I think I might just do a sticker specific purchase and grab a whole bunch of them. Hey man, I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Subskate, the land of hidden MCs. Sounds like a song. I don't know. Oh, Quiet is Kept too, man. I've been slowly putting together this mixtape idea to basically call it Animated and have all of the different songs that I've done that either are for the video games I've done music for, or for the or some of the anime related stuff I've done so far, or tracks that I've done that like line drop, right, where it samples video game music, or a song like Game Over that I did that featured Helter Skelter, Daz Effects, Master Ace, and other legendary artists. That track, which was a Transformers sample, you know what I mean? And then there's other songs that I've done that were samples from different anime and stuff, from like Miyazaki stuff to whatever. So anyway, I'm thinking about putting together a mixtape that has all of those tracks on it. It would be a free download via different sites that I have, and of course I would add it to add it to the USB cassette, as well as this other project I've been thinking about as well called oh my god, I know what it's called. Oh, it's called Stan Loves Japan, right? Where I put all of the features that I've done with different Japanese producers over the years. So like from Kenichiro Nishihara to of course Nujabes to DJ Dextream, and a long list of others. So I thought about having those 2 mixtapes maybe come out in the next year or whatever at different times, but definitely including them on Bandcamp, other sites and stuff like that as free downloads in mixtape form. All right, let me know if that's something you think would be pretty cool and you would dig, and I'll see what I can do. Hey, Kyle Bailey, peace. Welcome. Good to see you back up in here. I appreciate the check-in. All right. Subscat could be an album. I mean, yeah, that Land of the Hidden MCs could be an album title. Possibly, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. So next up, let's go ahead and jump into Otakon. Let's talk about Otakon briefly. So yeah, man, shout out to the missus and my daughters. We spent last weekend at Otakon 2022. We had a great time. This is our merch table here. We did our SketchPads event, which was really, really dope and a really great time. Yeah, man. And I just posted a short that you can see on Sub Art and Music's YouTube channel of Asheru. That's the same Asheru who did the opening song from the Boondocks. Basically talking about what his experience was like at the event. It was a really great time. I highly recommend y'all checking out that channel so you can see that video. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a different video that you can watch that is on my Instagram. So some of y'all might have seen it already, but if you hadn't, no worries. We're gonna bring that up for you in a second. So hold tight. It's coming. Let's switch over here and bring up the video, shall we? So hold on. Boom. All right, so I'm gonna go away for a second, but y'all enjoy the video. Word. Yeah, man. Shout out to Steve Bloom, who I got to meet. It was super cool meeting him, man. If you don't know about Steve Bloom, then you're not living your life right. Steve Bloom is, he's a talented voice actor. He's done the voice of Spike from Cowboy Bebop. He also did the voice of Mugen, Wolverine, and he's done a lot of other voice work. But shout out to him, man. We had spoke online, but I hadn't had a chance to meet him in person, so that was really dope to finally meet him. All right. Sirius Black says, it was an absolute honor to meet you at Otakon and allow me to take a picture with you. I wish my fiance could have made it to your Sketchpad event, but we will try to make the next one. Nah, man, thank you. I always appreciate the love that people show, because I know that like a lot of times people don't always get their flowers, man. So I'm hella appreciative of the people who take the time to let me know like how they felt about my music, what my music has meant to them, and just show love in general. So thank you, man, for stopping by. And yeah, I'm gonna be dropping details about when the next Sketchpads event is momentarily. So I will bring that up in a minute. So just hang tight. That's the next thing we're gonna jump into. Early says, my lunch break is about over. I'm on vacation once I get off work today. Hey, congratulations. Clap it up for Kevin Early. All right. My man, Early Bird. All right. Enjoy your vacay, man. We'll talk soon. All right. Yeah, hey, Wakel Hassan, it's been a minute, man. Glad to see you up in here as well. All right, peace. But yeah, man, Otakon was great. The Sketchpads event was a huge success, so I'm really excited about that, and it won't be the last. Speaking of it, let's talk about the next one. So this is the next Sketchpads event. For those of you who live in Maryland, DC, Virginia, definitely come check it out. I'll be posting this within the next day or so, if not today. So, but this is the info, man. You can catch us. We'll be at Spizzy 2 that is off of Crane Highway in Brandywine, Maryland. The featured visual artist will be my wife, Rochelle, and then I will be the featured musician for this one. We're keeping this one small. Spizzy 2 is a lot larger than the Spizzy 1 location, but it is a smoothie shop. So like there's not a ridiculous amount of seating, but there is seating. And also important to know, we're going to be giving out gift bags again. So there will be drawing materials given out for free. It doesn't cost you anything to get in. All you got to do is come and enjoy the beats. You can ask us questions while we do our thing. There'll be a screen hooked up so you can see Rochelle drawing live while I'm playing the beats. And then also you can get these bomb ass smoothies and other food, man. So it's happening at 3 p.m. and it'll last till 5. Come through, come kick it. It'll be dope. Steph, it would be great to see you, sis. It will be great to see you. So definitely come through, bring some family. It's an all ages type of thing. So you don't have to worry about any inappropriate language. Maybe I'll kick an inappropriate joke that only the adults will get for my own amusement, because you know I laugh at my own jokes. But yeah, other than that, you know what I mean? It's going to be dope. So come through. I think you all would enjoy it, man, if you haven't gone in. And if you're a visual artist, there will be supplies there already that will be free for you. And but if you do not bring your own supplies, but let's say you draw on an actual tablet. I know Steph gets busy. For those who don't know, Steph is also an amazing artist. She went to like the top art school in the country. So definitely come check it out, man. Because, you know, it's just, to quote some of the people who've attended, man, it's one of the most relaxing things you'll go to. And if you're a person who hasn't drawn in a while and been looking for inspiration, it's an environment that's conducive to that. And you get to surround yourself with other creatives, man, people who know what it's like to be a creative, people who've had people around them who sometimes aren't the most encouraging when you're trying to pursue your passion. And sometimes you have the encouragement, but you just don't have enough other creatives around you to get the type of answers you need. So I think this will be great for you. And you should come through. Again, it's free, cost you nothing but time. Come out. Look forward to seeing y'all there. All right. On that note, let's see what comments and questions I might have missed. I think there's one I got to scroll back for, but let's start with Tommy Hackett. He says, Steve Bloom is the greatest voice actor of all time. He did work on One Dub. I'm going to butcher that. Rooney Kenshin. And also Greatest Teacher Onizuka, which is goofy as hell, but he was awesome. Yeah, man. And more important than all of that, man, he is a nice guy. As successful as he is, every time that I've had an encounter with him, and so far I've had 3. The first time was when I met Kari, the woman who did the voice for Fu on Samurai Champloo. When I first met her and the guy who did the voice for Jen, they were both really, really nice. But then Kari was like, yo, since you're going to be in LA real soon, make sure you and Marcus hit me when you get in town. Yo, we'll get lunch. Maybe I'll hit up Steve and see. And she was talking about Steve Bloom. She's like, maybe I'll hit him up, see if he's available too. So I was like, bet. You know, when people say a thing, I'm like, man, I put it to the test and see if they're going to do it. So we hit her up, and sure enough, she was available. So we went out to lunch with her. Steve couldn't make it, but she called him right in the middle of us hanging out. And I got to talk to him, man, just chop it up on the phone. We were on the phone with him for almost like 10 minutes. And he was just showing so much love to us, man. And it was sad that he couldn't make it to lunch, and also couldn't make it to Otakon that year. But when I found out he was coming this year, I was excited because I had another encounter with him when we did Real Folk Blues. And he was actually on the cover of Real Folk Blues with us, along with Bo Billingsley, who's also a great guy and super gracious as well. And so, yeah, man, we went live. I think we were I can't remember if we were live on Twitch or Discord, but one of the two. And we were all just backstage on the live broadcast. You know, it's all online. And it was me, him, Mega Ran, my man Zed, and we were just chopping it up, and they were just so, man, Steve was so cool. He gave me a really interesting compliment that I won't repeat right now because I'm gonna butcher it, but it was basically, he complimented my voice, And that was crazy in itself because this dude's like you said, the greatest voice actor of all time. So getting that compliment from the greatest voice actor of all time was pretty dope. But like, I think my bad. I think he called my voice. I feel like he called it what was it? Velvety goodness. It's whatever, or deliciousness, velvety deliciousness. It was something wild, fam. Something wild. I was like, thank you. And that was also a little uncomfortable. Right? But it was hilarious, man. He's super dope. So it was great to finally meet him in person. So shout out to Steve Bloom. All right. What would you say was your most ambitious song? That's a great question. If we're talking about collaboration, then definitely the cover that we did for My Hero Academia, You Say Run, when we did that, because I had over 80 artists on it. And the part that I'm in is very brief, but even that, like, it was 3 MCs and we had to write all our stuff together. So that was pretty ambitious, man. More ambitious than that, though. Didn't have as many artists on it. I would say two songs. Selly from Extended Fam, because that song required over 70 tracks for us to record. And it's very intricate. Like, it's not an easy song to write, right? Because it's not just a dope beat, get on this beat and rap. Like, it's way more than that. It's storytelling, and we had to make sure everything was cohesive and made sense as a story. So that one, and then another one would be another EFAM joint off my second album, the song Sign Language. That was very complicated to write, simply because when you're telling those type of stories, right, that have all this hidden meaning and Easter eggs and things like that in it, you're trying to make sure that everything makes sense, but at the same time, you're trying to make sure that you tie up loose ends too, especially if you know this is a one-off thing and we're not carrying this story over. So that song, Sign Language from Sacrifice, was definitely one of the more ambitious songs that we wrote. It's not a song that fans refer to a lot because it is a lot to listen to. And it's not as funny or witty or entertaining as maybe Selly, if you're a person that's just looking for shits and giggles, you know what I mean? But thank you for that question. All right. Word. All right, Steve Bloom is that's dope. Shout out to everybody giving Steve Bloom his roses. But yeah, man. Word. So yeah, what was it? There was one other thing, and it's just a reminder. Again, I already had it up on the screen, but once again, make sure that you take advantage of the summer sale. I didn't tell y'all what time it ends. It ends tonight at 11:59, so that's going to be your last chance to take advantage if you haven't already. Let's see. Then a simpler one to close it out. Have any of your creations, there we go. Have any of your creations come from or been based off dreams you had? Damn, I don't even know if any of my songs have been based on my dreams. And it's probably because I'm one of those people that unless I'm woken up because of my dream, I forget my dreams most days, right? Like, usually when I get up, it's like I spring into action. So I haven't really written any songs about any dreams I had right now. Like, a lot of times there may be some daydreaming, right? Like something I'm thinking about deeply and kind of zone out, but not necessarily like me actually asleep, right? So I've definitely written songs off of daydreams that I had, so I don't know if that counts. But yeah, and then sometimes I had some weird ass dreams, man, like some funny dreams. I had one the other day, and I can't remember exactly what it was about right now, but I just know that the dream was so funny that I woke up like 3:30, something crazy, super late. I woke up in the middle of the night laughing, like hard, fam, like laughing, like tears in my eyes, laughing. I don't think I've ever woke up from a dream laughing before until that day. But I woke up laughing so hard that I scared my wife. Like, she went into instant panic mode. Like, oh my God, are you okay? Because she was like, She said when she first heard me laughing, it sounded like a cry. So she thought I woke up from my dream crying. And then I told her what happened. And I'm so mad right now that I can't remember exactly what happened now. But I just know that it was so funny, yo. Like, of course, she wasn't laughing when I told her in the middle of the night because, you know, she had just woke up. But when I told her the next day, she was dying. But it was something really silly. It was some just randomness, man. But yo, thank you for the question. All right, let's see. You hear a lot of stories in the world like that. Like the example I did of Superman came from a dream. Word. I've definitely seen that. Woke up sounding possessed. Hey, yo, I definitely scared the hell out of my wife, man, which made me laugh even harder, yo. You know, it was wild. It was wild. Damn, I really wish I could remember what it was, but I just don't. Let me give y'all a heads up on something before I go. So things that's happening right now. That's actually a great story, though. Man, I'm glad you found it entertaining. So real quick, because I haven't really said it at all, but hey, just another reminder, still having these monetization issues. I'm hoping that hopefully by the end of this month or the beginning of September, it'll be over. And then I'll get back to posting content like I was before, more regularly, outside of just the live weekly updates. But right now I don't see any monetization from anything. So that being said, if you are interested in donating to the channel, please consider doing so. You can do it either via Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. It's all appreciated. It's never mandatory. It's not something that I expect you all to do, but it's always appreciated per usual. But I definitely wanted to give you heads up on that. And also the last thing. So I recently had a conversation with the good folks at Mellow Music and Mellow Music Group, and we are going to be meeting next week to discuss the anniversary of Home is Where the Art Is, because the first single from Home is Where the Art Is, which is the song Check My Resume, is officially 10 years old. And the album itself will officially be 10 years old on September 4th. So that is less than a month away. And we already talked about it. So we're planning to re-release it, a deluxe edition. That deluxe edition, of course, will include the instrumentals. And then also it will include 2 bonus tracks. One that some of you have already heard. Another one that some of you might remember, but hasn't really been available most places. So we're going to be including that. And I'm working to see if I can get a last minute remix done of one of the tracks, man. So I'm going to take a stab at it myself. I've already had the idea in my head. I'm going to see what happens over the weekend, because I think it'd be kind of cool to have a remix done by me, because there was a whole remix project called Art is Where the Home Is that has plenty of remixes on it already and other songs that weren't on the album. So I'm thinking about, just leading up to the fact that I'm going to soon. The plan is, I was talking about maybe late this month, but with the anniversary of Home is Where the Art Is happening, I think I'm going to hold it till later in September, but I'm going to start releasing singles from Adulting very soon. So we're just over a month away from that happening. So after Home is Where the Art Is, deluxe edition / 10th anniversary edition drops, we'll start getting into Adultish, man. So yeah, buckle up. It's going to be a ride. You know what I mean? Let's see. It was awesome meeting you at Otakon. Hey, man, I appreciate the love. Awesome meeting you at Otakon. I've been bumping this album on repeat. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate the love. All right. Let's say, you know how much I love Home is Where the Art Is. When I was given a chance to get that vinyl, that was my first choice. Word. Yeah, man. And just to give y'all a heads up, I doubt there will be a repressing at this point. Maybe a little further down the road, we'll consider that. Because it's not necessarily one of my albums that's in as high demand as like my debut album, or The Past Is Always Present in the Future, or Sacrifice for that matter. But not for nothing, when it came out, it also sold like really, really well in comparison to some of those records did in terms of the initial, like people buying it initially. But over the years, of course, because it did sell out a lot sooner than those records, it hasn't been selling the same way, and it definitely doesn't stream at the same level as my first album or my fourth album. Sacrifice, and it may be neck and neck in terms of streaming. But definitely that's coming. So be excited about that if you love that record. Also be excited about the fact that I'm going to do another live commentary, just like we did with To This Union, A Son Was Born, for the 20th anniversary of that. So I'm going to do a 10-year anniversary live stream of Home Is Where the Art Is. The last time we did that, it was a 3-hour stream, fam. That was not the intention. I figured it was going to be 2, but we were on for 3 hours talking about that record, and it was a great time. Like, it was an awesome thing. You can watch that somewhere on the channel right now. Just search To This Union 20th anniversary. It should pop up, and it's a great video to check out. I believe it already has chapters in it too. So we're going to do that again. I'll see if I can maybe get some of the people who featured on the record to pop up on the live feed. That would be dope. I think it'd be cool to hear from somebody other than me. I finally remember what the last thing I wanted to remind y'all about was. All right, so I do have one final request. All right, and let's grab that. Hold tight. Hold on. I'm getting rid of some other things off my screen. All right, so the last thing that I wanted to mention, Words, Beats, and Life. You've heard me mention that organization a few different times. Definitely consider donating to Words, Beats, and Life. The link is in the chat. Basically, you go to wblinc.org/act, right? What I want you to do is check that link out. Consider donating. I'm not asking you to do a lot. $10, fam. If you can donate $10, right? Basically, right now we're in the top 4. That organization that I've been teaching business of art and music classes. I've been working with them for a while. They show a lot of love and support to me, so I'm trying to do the same. They are currently in this competition, which is a fundraiser. And right now, Words, Beats, and Life is in 4th place. Here's the great thing. It's not based on how much money we raise, but how many people contribute. So you don't have to put up this huge donation of hundreds of dollars or $50. What I just need is for a lot of people to put up $10. If you do that and we land in 3rd place, or like between 1st to 3rd place, we will win an additional $4,000, right, in bonus money. So again, and I think right now we're like maybe less than 10 donors away from hitting 1st place for that. Not 1st place, 3rd place for that. So please consider donating. We only have from now up until I think Monday, somewhere around like 2 or 3 p.m. To get a few more donations in. And like I said, right now we're hot on the trails of 3rd place. We're currently in 4th place. So consider donating. It's an organization that's doing great work in the DMV, but they also do a lot of work globally. I believe they've been to close to 15 different countries doing work. So consider supporting. They also sponsor our podcast that we do, ARTdustry. So shout out to them for doing that. And the event SketchPads that I do is also sponsored by them. So they've helped us with getting materials. They help us with promo for that. And they've given money or whatever also to back some of the things that I'm doing with my company. And also have given me lots of opportunities to help young people and occasionally perform for different folks around the world, actually, not just here in the DMV. So shout out to them. Consider donating. It would be greatly appreciated. So don't feel like you got to donate to the channel today. If you hadn't, you could take that money and donate to them because they deserve it. All right. So on that note, I think I covered everything. I'm pretty sure I got everything. And look at that. You know what I mean? Made pretty good time as well. You know what I mean? Stayed on point today. So on that note, folks, I definitely got to get out of here, man. I appreciate the love per usual. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out to the people who tuned in for the first time. And the last thing I do ask everybody to do, man, encourage other people that you know who are fans to subscribe to the channel if they aren't already. We are almost at 10,000 subscribers. We are so close. So close, and that definitely unlocks other features that I can use to push what I do on the channel. So if you're someone who watches but hasn't subscribed, please subscribe. If you know other people that hasn't subscribed to the channel or don't know that I have a YouTube channel, please ask them to do the same as well. So on that note, I'm out of here, man. I'll see you soon, but talk to you sooner. Peace. Hey, man. Y'all, hey, don't make me tear up. Me tear up in these streets. You the GOAT, bro. It was an awesome stream. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the love. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. Thank you. Word, so tight. I do what I can. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Have a good weekend, everyone, for sure. Wakel, it was great seeing you up in here, man. Thanks for coming through. All right. Elric, thank you for tuning in. All right. Everybody be good, yo. Peace, y'all.